Hey, welcome back, everyone. I'm Michael Fields, founder of Accountability Mentorship, your host. Thank you again for joining me today. So, this week we're going to talk about how to stay disciplined. This is the new year, so we need to create a way to stay disciplined through our business plan that you guys created last week. And if you haven't, please go back to that podcast, listen to it, and create your business plan for the year. Within that business plan, I asked you guys to create a business plan for the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, and your year. So get out there and create that business plan and listen to that podcast. We need to remember that we truly cannot change ourselves until we learn to stay disciplined. How can we stay disciplined enough to keep ourselves on track for this next year in 2021? If we stray from the objectives, how are we going to get ourselves back on track and keep grinding? And that kind of goes with our the comfort zone podcast I did this last week, and with creating your business plan for the new year. You want to find the things that push you into the comfort zones, the barriers that keep you down. We need to make sure that we don't stray from that objective. We need to find the material and the mentors and stuff we have, the people we have, to push us back onto that track. The track of staying on path with our purpose and our passions. We also need to remember that success isn't measured by the number of things that you accomplish. It's the commitment and quality of the work you put in to accomplish these tasks, the heart that you put into it. Learn to project quality in everything you do, not just quantity. Show people exactly what you're made of. Show them your heart. Show them your passion for what you want to do. We need to make sure that we follow that passion. Make sure that we stay disciplined within this passion. You can't just go out there and expect to throw a bunch of content out to people if you're a coach, or just do a bunch of stuff and expect people to realize, hey, this is just, he put out 100 podcasts, or this dude put out 100 coachings. If your heart's not in it, it's not going to matter. So number one is we need to make sure that we have our heart in whatever we do and stay disciplined in it. It's going to keep us staying disciplined if we do what we love and we have our heart in everything we do. Like I said in a few podcasts ago, even in the middle of the shit, do we truly find paradise? When you're deep in the middle of the worst possible thing you can think of, we need to find paradise in that, whatever that is. If you're down in the dumps and you just said, you know what, I fail, you need to turn that around and be disciplined enough to find out exactly what that paradise is. So I read a book of David Goggins, and he was going through Navy SEAL training. And if you haven't read it, it's called "I Can't Hurt Me." Can't Hurt Me. And he talks about in Navy SEAL training how even in the middle of the worst training, he on the verge of failure, he got recycled a couple times, but he pushed through and he found paradise in the middle of the shit. We need to do the same thing in our lives. We need to be disciplined enough to find out what that thing is and realize and say to ourselves, even though I'm in the middle of the crap, I'm going to embrace it and I'm going to make something good out of it. You need to turn it around and create something good out of it. Next question I want to ask you is, what are you going to do to get your goals, to get to your goals that support your passions and purposes? What are you going to do to keep on this path? We need to stay disciplined on our business plan and keep on track with our goals. what are you going to do? Whenever we go through things that are going to put us down, we need to seriously sit there and realize exactly what we need to plan for, so that when those shitty things do come, we're prepared for it, and we're going to stay on track no matter what. So my call to action to you guys is, every week, I want you to find one day that you can sit down and have a weekly AAR. In the Army, it's called an after-action review or after-action report. And as a firefighter, we do this after every single training. We do this after every single actual structure fire. We do that after every emergency or event. We sit down and do an after-action report or review to find out, excuse me, exactly what went well and what didn't go so well. So the questions that you're going to ask yourself in this is, what went good or what went bad? And then ask yourself, after you write that down, you're going to try to find 3 to 4 things that went good, 3 to 4 things that went bad. And then when you do this each week, you're going to do this reflecting on your week. So you're going to ask yourself, what went good this week, what went bad this week, and then you're going to ask yourself, what can I do to make this next week better? And then write that down. And then the last question you're going to ask yourself is, if I didn't achieve my goals, what am I going to hold myself accountable for this next week to achieve my next week's future goals? And your goals should match up with what your 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day plan is. Also with your 6-month and 1-year goal that the business plan from the last podcast I had you guys do. Your business plan should reflect in your AAR. So whatever you set up for yourself with, hey, I need to do this daily or this weekly or this monthly, that needs to follow up with your weekly AAR. Did you achieve those goals that you're supposed to achieve within that day period or week period or month period? And if not, what are you going to do to hold yourself accountable to reach those goals? Because this is 2021, new year. We don't need to focus on what our failures were last year. We need to focus on how to make things better for this next year. Having this weekly AAR, after action report and review, is going to help you stay disciplined. Because every single week, that one day that you find, for me it's Sunday for right now, when I start my new schedule, it'll be whatever my rest day is. Whatever your rest day is, a day that you take off to spend time with your family. I don't care if it's in the morning early before your family gets up or in the evening before you go to bed. You're going to write this down. You're going to have an after action review. And what this is an accountability report for what you did. And if you can't achieve those goals in the time frame that you have, then maybe you need to start working on your routine. You know, need to bring this up and ask yourself, journal, how am I going to achieve all of these goals I set for myself in this time frame in my schedule? This after action review could work for everything. For right now, I want you to focus on doing it as like one day a week, but after like every major meeting too, or a major life event, something like, let's say you did a coaching for like 20 people, or you did a conference for 20 people, or you created a report for your job, you can do an after action review. Hey, I taught this class and this is the things that went well, these are the things that went bad, and this is what I need to do to change it. And the last statement I have for you in this podcast is going to be that we need to become accountable, not only for ourselves, but by keeping ourselves accountable, it's going to change the lives around us. And by keeping ourselves accountable, it's also going to make sure that we're disciplined to follow the goals and the dreams and the passions and purposes that we are shooting for. That's all I have for y'all today. So if you like this podcast, please like and subscribe to this podcast. If you know anybody else that could benefit from this, also share it with them. Check it out. And once again, thank you all for listening. And remember, change yourself and find your purpose so that you can change the lives around you through your passions. Have a great day.